In a stunning move that's rattling North American trade relations, President Donald Trump has announced plans to impose a 25% tariff on Canadian imports, citing national security concerns at the start of 2025. The White House claims border control issues and drug smuggling justify this action. The announcement has sent shockwaves through Ottawa, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau declared that everything is on the table in response. Canadian officials are split between retaliation and diplomacy, with Ontario Premier Doug Ford suggesting countermeasures like banning American liquor imports or restricting energy exports to Michigan and New York. The U.S. and Canadian economies are deeply intertwined, particularly in energy. American refineries in the Midwest and Rocky Mountain regions depend on Canadian heavy crude. Any disruption could send U.S. gas prices soaring and devastate Canada's oil-rich provinces. Meanwhile, a significant shift is occurring in global energy markets, with China reducing its U.S. oil imports. Recent data shows Chinese purchases of American crude have plummeted from 115.6 million barrels to just 81.9 million barrels year over year. China has implemented retaliatory tariffs, 10% on U.S. crude oil and 15% on LNG and coal, effective February 10, 2025. Beijing is quietly reshaping its oil procurement strategy, turning to politically isolated sources. Despite a 7.2% overall drop in crude imports, China is increasing purchases from Russia, Iran, and Venezuela. These nations, facing Western sanctions, offer steep discounts that China eagerly accepts. Through schemes involving dark tankers and ship-to-ship transfers near Malaysia, Iranian oil continues flowing to Chinese ports, often relabeled as Malaysian or Omani crude. Similarly, Venezuelan oil reaches China through intricate payment systems and third-party traders. This strategic shift isn't just about saving money. It's about China reducing dependence on Western suppliers while securing energy security. The move could challenge the U.S. dollar's dominance in global oil transactions and reshape international energy markets for years to come. In a dramatic shift reshaping global energy markets, China's strategic oil partnerships are creating unprecedented challenges for Western sanctions and traditional trade relationships. Our investigation reveals how Beijing's aggressive pursuit of discounted oil is transforming international energy dynamics. Industry experts have uncovered sophisticated methods Chinese operators use to circumvent restrictions. Satellite tracking firms Blur and Vortex have documented vessels engaging in mid-ocean transfers and going dark by disabling tracking systems. Malaysian and Omani ports serve as hubs where sanctioned oil undergoes relabeling before reaching Chinese destinations. Trade between China and Russia surged past $240 billion in 2023, dominated by energy transactions. This partnership deepened after Moscow faced Western sanctions. Russia's strategic pivot east represented a complete overhaul of its energy export strategy. China's influence in global energy markets has reached unprecedented levels, says energy analyst James Thompson. Traditional suppliers are being forced to restructure their pricing models to remain competitive. The Power of Siberia pipeline completion in 2024 created a direct energy corridor between China and Russian gas fields. Plans for a second pipeline could redirect gas flows originally meant for European markets. China's relationship with Iran exemplifies this strategy. Despite U.S. sanctions targeting Iran's oil sector, China has maintained steady purchases through various channels. Similarly, partnership with the UAE has flourished, with trade reaching $95 billion in 2023. A deal between China's CNPC and UAE's ADNOC in mid-2024 further cemented Beijing's position. This agreement extends beyond oil trade, encompassing exploration, production increases, and LNG development. China's export of solar technology to the UAE demonstrates Beijing's comprehensive approach to energy dominance. These developments signal a profound shift in global energy dynamics, with China increasingly setting the agenda for international oil trade and pricing. As traditional market structures evolve, Western influence over global energy flows faces mounting challenges. Good morning. I'm John Davidson with today's analysis of China's revolutionary energy strategy reshaping global markets. Breaking news from Beijing shows China's pivot away from American oil markets, with daily crude imports exceeding 11.3 million barrels. This isn't just about energy, it's about power and influence. The United Arab Emirates has joined this shift, with investments in China rising 120% in 2023, representing 90% of Arab capital flowing into the Asian giant. China's strategy includes strengthening ties with Russia and Iran, securing cheaper oil from these isolated nations. By reducing dependence on Western markets, Beijing is creating a system that shields it from global pressures. China's transformation from energy self-sufficiency to becoming the world's largest oil importer is notable. In 1993, domestic production couldn't meet industrial demands. By 2017, China surpassed the U.S. as the top oil importer. For American markets, as China reduces U.S. oil imports, we're seeing downward pressure on crude prices. This affects profits for American producers, investments, and jobs across the energy sector. Notably, many transactions now use non-dollar currencies, challenging the petrodollar system. This shift, with strengthening BRICS ties, could create a new economic bloc outside U.S. influence. For American investors and workers, this is crucial. The petroleum industry faces pressure as Chinese purchases decline. This trend strains U.S.-China trade relations and could widen the trade deficit. In the global energy landscape, power is shifting. As China continues its strategic realignment, the question is how these changes will reshape international markets ahead.